Shabbat Shalom, Yashala, Shabbat Shalom, Dawadaban Yashala. Coming in with part 2 of the sit down. Israel, are you circumcised or uncircumcised according to the Bible? First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Abba, Nawa, Yahawah, BahaSham, Yahawashi, BahaSham, Qadash, true Father's name and Messiah's name in ancient Paleo Hebrew. First and foremost, okay, this is part 2 of the sit down. Israel, are you circumcised or uncircumcised according to the Bible? I read Acts 7:48. I'll read it again. I just want to make sure everybody's clear that Acts 7, 7 chapter 48 verse. And it reads, Acts 7:48 reads, howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet. Okay, I just wanted to read that, but now I want to give another precept because this specifically says the Most High. Let's go to Hebrews 9. I just want to make up this point, make sure everybody understands. Hebrews 9 and verse 24. Because I talked about the Most High not being in those whoredom churches out here in Babylon the Great, a.k.a. the United States of America. And we're commanded to observe the Sabbath, which is the seventh day, not the first day of the week, go to Sunday worship. Hebrews 9 and 24 reads, for Christ, the Hamashiach, is not entered into holy places made with hands, which are the figures of the true, but into heaven itself, now to appear into the presence of the Most High for us. Okay, so the Messiah, who this world ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ, is not entered into these holy places made with hands, meaning all these whoredom churches out here. No matter what denomination, the Most High, Acts 7:48, don't dwell in those in temples, and neither does the Messiah. Just want to make sure that's clear. Now let's get back to our lesson. Israel, are you circumcised or uncircumcised according to the Bible? Hopefully everybody got a little edified in the part 1. Let's continue. First precept I'm going to bring out, let's go to the book of Romans. Book of Romans, 2nd chapter, 25th verse. Romans 2 and 25. And it reads, for circumcision verily profiteth, if thou keep the law. Read again, Romans 2 and 25. For circumcision verily profiteth, if thou keep the law. But if thou be a breaker of the law, thy circumcision is made uncircumcised. Salak, made uncircumcision. Read it again, Romans 2, verse 25. For circumcision verily profiteth, if thou keep the law. But if thou be a breaker of the law, thy circumcision is made uncircumcision. Okay? So if you're breaking the law, if you're not living by the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, you are uncircumcised just as the Gentiles and the heathens of this world. Part 1, I went over it, and I'm gonna show you the biblical definitions in the Greek Septuagint with the word circumcision and uncircumcision. So, let me read verse 26, Romans 2 and 26. Therefore, if the uncircumcision keep the righteousness of the law, shall not his uncircumcision be counted for circumcision? Yes. If you keep the law, statutes, commandments, and you heed to the words and the gospel of the Yahawashi, Mashiach, and the Most High, your uncircumcision will become circumcision. Point blank. Now let's get the definitions of these words in the Greek Septuagint. In the book of Hebrews, chapter 2. Salaki. Hebrews, Salaki, Romans chapter 2, verse 25. I gave you the Hebrew definitions. Now I'm going to give you the Greek in the New Testament. Yeah. This is the Hebrew word G4061. The word circumcision in the Greek Septuagint.
Strong's G 4061.
Peritame. Peritame. That's a transliteration. Let's get the definition. Circumcised. The act or rite of circumcision. They of the circumcision is a term used of the Jews. Of Christians gathered from amongst the Jews. The state of circumcision. Of Christians separated from the unclean multitude and truly consecrated to the Most High. The extinction of passions and the removal of spiritual impurity. I mean, those are all the definitions. I'll read them again. This is in the Greek Septuagint, the biblical definition for circumcision. The act or rite of circumcision, day of the circumcision, is a term used of the Jews, of Christians gathered from amongst the Jews. The state of circumcision, of Christians separated from the unclean multitude and truly consecrated to the Most High, the extinction of passion and the removal of spiritual impurity. Okay? That's the biblical definition of circumcision. Now let's get uncircumcision in the Greek Septuagint. Uncircumcision is Greek word 203. And the transliteration,
Strong's G 203. Akrabustia.
Akabrustia. Let's get the biblical definition. Having the foreskin uncircumcised. Okay. Second definition, a Gentile. Third definition, a condition in which the corrupt desires rooted in the flesh were not yet extinct. Okay? Let's get it again from the Greek Septuagint, the transliteration.
Strong's G 203.
Akrabustia. And again, the biblical usage, having the foreskin uncircumcised. A Gentile, a condition in which corrupt desires rooted in the flesh yet not extinct. Has nothing to do with the male part, like I've been stating in the first part of this of the sit down. Okay, so I gave you the definition, Greek 4061, circumcision, and Greek 203, uncircumcision. Let's get another precept in the book of Romans. Romans 4, and starting with the 9th verse. Romans 4 and 9 reads, cometh this blessedness then upon the circumcision only. Read it again, Romans 4 verse 9. Cometh this blessedness then upon the circumcision only. So the blessings and all the rewards, the covenants, new and old covenants, the promise, all the promises of the gospel, all to the circumcision. Read it again, Romans 9 and Romans 4 verse 9. Cometh this blessedness then upon the circumcision only, or upon the uncircumcision also. For we say that faith was reckoned to Abraham for righteousness. Romans 4 and verse 10. How was it then reckoned when he was in circumcision or in circumcision? Not in circumcision, but in uncircumcision. And he received the sign of circumcision, the seal of the righteousness. So what is circumcision? Is the seal of righteousness of the faith, which he had yet been uncircumcised, that he might be the father of all them that believe. Okay? Romans 4 and verse 11. And he received the sign of circumcision, a seal of the righteousness of the faith, which he had yet been uncircumcised, that he might be the father of all them that believe, though they be not circumcised, that righteousness might be imputed unto them also. So before Abraham received his circumcision, then he was given the sign of righteousness and of faith, and that he may be the father of them that believe, them, though they not circumcised, that righteousness might be imputed unto them also. Romans 4 and 12. And the father of the circumcision to them who are not of the circumcised only, but also who walk in the steps of faith of our father Abraham, which he had been given yet uncircumcision. Romans 4 and 13. For the promise that he should be the heirs of the world was not to Abraham or to his seed through the law, but through the righteousness of faith. So we all know we have to have faith in the Messiah and in the Most High, which is going to build up your circumcision through keeping the law, statute, commandments of the Most High. And I mean, that's what he's talking about, Abraham receiving his sign of righteousness. So circumcision is a sign of righteousness. Let's get another precept. Go to Galatians, book of Galatians. Galatians chapter 2, verse 7. Galatians 2 and 7. But contrariwise, when they saw that the gospel of the uncircumcision was committed unto me, as the gospel of the circumcision was unto Peter. Galatians 2 and 8. For he that wrought effectually in Peter to the apostleship of the circumcision, the same was mighty in me towards the Gentiles. Okay, again, I covered that in the first, when the apostles, Paul, Peter, Barnabas, and all the apostles that went into the Antioch and to Galatia, Corinth, they were seeking their brethren that were living in the Gentile state of mind, just as the 2/3 Club are living here in a.k.a. Babylon the Great, the United Snakes of America. Let's get another precept. Go to the book of Ephesians. Everybody talks about the Gentile meaning everybody in the world. That's not true. That's folly and madness. If that's the case, why is the Most High bringing judgment to this whole earth? Ephesians 2 and 11. Ephesians 2 and 11 reads, Wherefore remember that ye being in times past Gentiles in the flesh. This is what I'm talking about. Ephesians 2 and 11. Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision, by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands. Read it again, Ephesians 2 and 11. Wherefore remember that ye being in times past Gentiles. We were all, Gentiles. Even before I started my walk in the faith and in the gospel of the Most High and Yahawashi and Mashiach, was in the Christianity churches, going to Sunday worship. Till the Most High took the blinds off me, and He showed me follow the law, statute, commandments, observe the Sabbath, wear your fringes, celebrate the holy feast days of the Most High, and step away from the folliness and the madness of this world. So I turn my uncircumcision to circumcision. Okay? Wherefore remember that ye being in past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision, by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh, made by hands. Ephesians 2:12, that at that time ye were without the Messiah, without Christ. Read it again, Ephesians 2. At that time, when we were in a Gentile state of mind, ye were without Christ, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel and strangers from the covenant of promise, having no hope and without the Most High in this world. But once you wake up to the truth of the gospel of the Hamashiach Yahawashi and of the Most High, and step away from this world, like he commands us in 1 John 2nd chapter verse 15, love not this world, all the things in this world. Once you step away and you live by the law, statute, commandments, and renew your mind, renew take the foreskin off your heart and your ears, and let the precepts penetrate. If you get that in the first part of my lesson, okay, I'm gonna read it again. Ephesians 2:12, that ye at that time ye were without Christ, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel and strangers from the covenant. So until he revealed and took the blinds off me and woke me up to the truth of the gospel, and blessed me to be a servant of the Most High and Hamashiach Yahawashi, and to bring out his word. That's why I bring out these lessons, to feed the flock. Okay? Having no hope and without the Most High in the world. Ephesians 2:13, but now in Hamashiach Yahawashi, ye who sometimes were far off and made nigh by the blood of Christ. Ephesians 2:14, for he is our peace, who has made both one and have broken down the middle wall of partition between us. So once I woke up to the truth, I hasted not. I jumped on it. I started wearing my fringes. I was commanded to in Numbers 15:38, observing the holy days in Leviticus the 23rd chapter, keeping the Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Feast of Tabernacles, Day of Atonement, so forth and so on. Living my life, following the law, statute, commandments, I became circumcised to the Most High, point blank and period. Let's go to the book of Colossians. Just get some more precepts, bring out some more edifications. Colossians 2nd chapter, starting with the 11th verse. Colossians 2 verse 11 reads, in whom also ye are circumcised with the circumcision made without hands, in putting off the body of the sins of the flesh. Again, waking up to the truth and living by the law, statute, commandments, and following the Messiah, stepping away from this world. That's why I denounce this world, the United Snakes of America. And I know the Most High and the King is bringing their judgment to this wicked land for the bondage, slavery, over 400 years to this day in this captivity. And we all know, the judgment in the book of Revelation is coming, and the new heaven and new earth, and that the Esau is the end of this world, and Jacob is the one that followeth. So we know that the 144 kings are going to be the governing body of the new world. Point blank and period, but let's stay on topic. Colossians 2:11, in whom also ye are circumcised with the circumcision made without hands, in putting off the body of the sins of the flesh by the circumcision of the Hamashiach Yahawashi. Read it again. In whom also ye are circumcised with the circumcision made without hands, and putting off the body of the sins of the flesh by the circumcision of Yahawashi Hamashiach. Point blank and period. I'm going to read 12, Colossians 2 and 12. Buried with him in baptism, wherein also ye are risen with him through the faith of the operation of the Most High, who raised him from the dead. So you have to have the faith, and of the promise of the eternal life, that we will rise just as the Messiah did if you're circumcised of Hamashiach Yahawashi and of the Most High. Let's get another precept, Colossians 3 and 11. Colossians 3 and 11. Salaki. I'm just going to go down to 17, which is, just want to bring out this precept. Colossians 3 and 17, and whatever ye do in word or deed, do it all in the name of Yahawashi HaMashiach, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by him. Just wanted to bring out that precept. Let's go to the book of John, because all the words and all the, precepts, you bringing out this word, give all thanks and praise and glory to the Most High for waking us up in these latter days. Let's go to St. John 7 and starting with the 21st verse. John 7 and 21 reads, Yahawashi answered and said unto them, I have done one work, and ye all marvel. John 7 and 22, Moses therefore gave unto you circumcision, not because it is of Moses, but of the fathers. And ye on the Sabbath day circumcise a man. St. John 7 and 23, if a man on the Sabbath day receive circumcision, that the laws of Moses should not be broken, are ye angry at me, because I have made a man every whit whole on the Sabbath day? I'm going to read it again. St. John 7 and verse 23. If a man on the Sabbath day receives circumcision, that the law of Moses shall not be broken. But Christianity and all these hardened churches say the laws are done away with. Madness. Are ye angry at me because I have made a man every whit whole on the Sabbath day? St. John 7 and 24. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. Everybody said, but you can't judge. But according to the Messiah in red letters, St. John 7 and 24, judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. Okay? Let's go to the book of Acts. Get some more precepts. Book of Acts 7, starting with the 6th verse. Acts 7 and 6 reads, and the Most High spake on this wise, that his seed should sojourn in a strange land, and that they should bring them into bondage, and entreat them evil 400 years. I'm going to read it again, Acts 7 and 6. And the Most High spake this wise, that his seed, Israel, Yasha'Allah, the true people of the Most High God, shall sojourn in a strange land. Which is a strange land? A.K.A. Babylon the Great, the United States of America. And they shall bring them into bondage, it's proven, and entreat them evil, proven, 400 years. Acts 7 and 7. And the nation to whom they shall be in bondage will I judge, saith Yahawah. And he's bringing judgment to this world. The United States of America, Babylon the Great. Okay? And after that, they shall come forth and serve me in this place. Acts 7 and 8. And he gave him the covenant of circumcision. And so Abraham begot Isaac and circumcised him the 8th day. And Isaac begot Jacob, and Jacob begot the 12 patriarchs, which are the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Okay, those are our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But you see in Acts 6 and 7, I'm going to read them again, because it just shows about our bondage, that we're in our captivity right now. Acts 7 and verse 6. And the Most High spake this wise, that his seed should sojourn in a strange land, and they that should bring them into bondage, and entreat them evil for 400 years. Choking us out, shooting us on, as you see what's going on. I mean, it's all out here. It's all proven. Acts 7 and 7. And the nation whom they shall be in bondage will I judge. Most High is casting judgment. Why? For the treatment and the evilness and the wickedness of his slavery put upon his people. The corona is just the beginning of sorrows. I mean, precepts after precepts. I've done other lessons as far as, in 1 hour, judgment cometh and the destruction. Check out those other videos. And the nation to whom they shall be in bondage will I judge, saith Yahawah. And after that they come forth and serve me in this place. And he gave him the covenant of circumcision. And so Abraham begot Isaac and circumcised him the 8th day. And Isaac begot Jacob, and Jacob begot the 12 patriarchs, which are the 12 children of Israel. Staying in the book of Acts, let's go to Acts 15. And starting with the first verse, Acts 15 and 1. And certain men which came down from Judea taught the brethren and said, except ye be circumcised after the manner of Moses, ye cannot be saved. Read it again. Acts 15 and verse 1. And certain men which came down from Judea taught the brethren and said, except ye be circumcised after the manner of Moses, ye cannot be saved. If you're not living by the law, statute, commandments, as Moses commanded us in the Torah, the 5 books of the laws, following the law, statute, commandments, you cannot be saved. Nobody uncircumcised can be saved. Point blank and period. Let's get further edification on that. Let's see what the Messiah said. Let's go back to St. John, the New Testament. St. John, 5th chapter, starting with the 46th verse. In red letters, the Yahawashi speaking. St. John 5, verse 46. For had ye believed Moses, ye would have believed me, for he wrote of me. This is the Messiah speaking. St. John 5, verse 46. For had ye believed Moses, ye would have believed me, for he wrote of me. St. John 5 and 47. But if ye believe not his writings, the Torah, how shall you believe in my words? This is the Messiah speaking. If you're not living by the law, statute, commandments of Moses, who he wrote of the Messiah, how can you really truly believe the true words of the gospel of the Most High and Hamashiach Yahawashi? This is his words. I just wanted to bring more edification that the Messiah is speaking, that Moses wrote of the Messiah. Everything that Moses was bringing out, it came from the Heavenly Father and Hamashiach Yahawashi. So how can you believe the Messiah if you didn't believe Moses? If you're not keeping the law, statute, commandments, you are uncircumcised and you cannot be saved. Let's go back to the book of Acts, 15th chapter, 1st verse. And certain men which came down from Judea taught the brethren and said, except ye be circumcised after the manner of Moses, ye cannot be saved. You ain't keeping the law, statute, commandments, and being circumcised under Moses' law, which was given to Moses through the Heavenly Father and Yahawashi, you cannot be saved. Point blank and period. Let's drop down to the 23rd verse. Salaki, I read that in part 1. Let's go to Galatians. Back to the book of Galatians. Just give you a couple of more precepts. Galatians 5, and starting with the 2nd verse. Galatians 5 and verse 2 reads, Behold, I, Paul, say unto you, that if ye be circumcised, Christ shall profit you nothing. Galatians 5 verse 2, Behold, I, Paul, saying unto you, that if ye be circumcised, Christ shall profit you nothing. Galatians 5 and 3, For I testify again to every man that is circumcised, that he is a debtor to do the whole law. Can't make this up. Galatians 5 and 3. For I testify again to every man that is circumcised, that he is a debtor to do the whole law. Okay? You got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Again, be circumcised to be saved. Let's go to Galatians 6, starting with the 12th verse. Galatians 6 and 12 reads, As many as desire to make a fair show in the flesh, they constrain you to be circumcised, only lest they should suffer persecution for the cross of the Messiah. Galatians 6 and 13, For neither they themselves who are circumcised keep the law, but desire to have you circumcised, that they may glory in your flesh. Galatians 6 and 14, But the Most High forbid that I should glory, save in the cross of Hamashiach Yahawashi, by whom the world is crucified unto me, and I unto the world. Galatians 6 and 15, For in Yahawashi Hamashiach neither circumcision availeth anything, nor uncircumcision, but a new creature. Can you live by the law, statutes, commandments, put away those evil thoughts, as I went to over in the first part of this sit down, which is what is circumcision, to put away your evil thoughts, to your impureness, your uncleanness, and come live the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. Okay, just gonna bring out this last couple of precepts. Let's go into the Apocrypha. Let's go into the Apocrypha, the addition to Esther. In the Apocrypha, addition to Esther, 14th chapter, and starting with the 15th verse, just to show that the Most High hates uncircumcision, the uncircumcised. He hates it, and I'm going to read it. Addition to Esther, chapter 14, verse 15, in the Apocrypha. Thou knowest all things, O Yahawah. Thou knowest that I hate the glory of the unrighteous, and abhor the bed of the uncircumcised, and of all the heathens. Just reading the Bible, addition to Esther, in the Apocrypha, 14th chapter, 15th verse. For thou knowest all things, O Yahawah. Thou knowest that I hate the glory of the unrighteous, and abhor the bed of the uncircumcised, and of all the heathen. Why? Because the heathen are all uncircumcised. They're not living by the law, statute, commandments. They're not given the law, statute, commandments. Only Yasha'Allah, Israel, the children of Israel, is only given all the promises, the blessings, the covenants, the gospel, the holy word, the repentance, everything that's in from Genesis to Revelation is only given to Israel. Period. Let's go, staying in Apocrypha, let's go to 1 Maccabees. Out of the Apocrypha, 1 Maccabees, 1st chapter, the 11th verse. 1 Maccabee 1, verse 11 reads, In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let's go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. This is when Israel went whoring and went the ways of the heathen and the Gentiles. 1 Maccabees 1 and 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So because they were suffering, they wanted to go back and make, quote, quote, friends with the heathens and live their lifestyle. 1 Maccabees 1 and 12. So this device pleased them well. 1 Maccabees 1 and 13. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen. This is when Israel went bad in the times of the Maccabees. 1 Maccabees 1 and 14. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen. 1 Maccabees 1 and 15. And made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. Okay, this is where in the times of the first Maccabees, when Israel went and they wanted to go back to live the heathen custom way, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant which the Most High gave Abraham, that all the children of Israel shall be circumcised, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. You can't make this up. That's in the first Maccabees, the first chapter, and verse 15. Let's stay in first Maccabees and go to verse 44. Drop down to 44. Just giving you some more edification about being circumcised and uncircumcised. Uncircumcision is the way of the heathens. I already read it in addition to Esther. The Most High hates the heathen, the uncircumcision. First Maccabees 1 and 44, and it reads, For the king hath sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, which are the heathen laws. First Maccabees 1 and 45, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbath and festival days. Again, this is Israel becoming uncircumcised in the time of Maccabees. Okay, First Maccabees 1 and 45, forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbath and the festival days. First Maccabees 1 and 46, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people. First Maccabees 1 and 47, set up altars, which is idolatry, and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. You can't make this up. First back, if you the learned people, or if you don't, get yourself a copy of the Apocrypha. I mean, people say that they don't believe in it, but again, you have that foreskin which has your eyes covered and your ears covered and your heart covered, that the Most High is not giving you the understanding. But anyway, First Maccabees 1 and 46, they set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrificed swine's flesh and unclean beasts. First Maccabees 1 and 48, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised. First Maccabees 1 and 48, that they shall also leave their children uncircumcised, and make their souls abominable, which all manners of uncleanness and profanation. First Maccabee 1:49, to the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinance. This is when, again, Israel went whoring the ways of the heathen, stepped away from the law, statute, commandments, profaned the Sabbath and the feast days of the Most High. That's why we're in captivity right now to this day, per Baruch 3:8. We're in captivity, subject to payments till this day. First Maccabee 1:49, to the end they may forget the law and change all the ordinances. First Maccabee 1:50, and whosoever would not do according to the commandments of the king, he said, should die. So obviously, they forced it upon Yahawah, put us into captivity. They profaned the Sabbath. They turned their circumcision to uncircumcision. Is the point that I wanted to bring on in First Maccabees. Just want to end up this. I want to end this lesson. I hope it's been edifying about what is to be circumcised and uncircumcised. I want to bring up one more precept. Let's go to 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 7, and starting with the 18th verse. 1 Corinthians 7 verse 18 reads, is any man called being circumcised? Let him not become uncircumcised. If any called in uncircumcision, let him not be circumcised. 1 Corinthians 7:19, circumcision is nothing, and uncircumcision is nothing, but the keeping of the commandments of the Most High. I'm going to read it again. 1 Corinthians 7 and verse 19. Circumcision is nothing, and uncircumcision is nothing, but the keeping of the commandments of the Most High. So I just wanted to bring out this sit down and this lesson to prove circumcision and uncircumcision has nothing to do with the male organ. That's what the unlearned and all the heathens believe in. But again, circumcision is keeping the commandments of the Most High. Okay, that's how you turn your uncircumcision to circumcision, allowing the holy precepts to penetrate into your heart, which is your mind, and come to the law, statute, commandments of the Most High, and become a new person after being awoke to the gospel of the Hamashiach Yahawashi and the Most High and His holy gospel, the Holy Bible. Israel, endure to the end. Our kingdom is nigh. I hope this was edifying. And Shabbat Shalom. Stay strong. Endure to the end. Shalom.